Buddy, thank you for coming out on a cool morning, and I appreciate everybody's attendance, in particular all the Woody family that came out. If you're a member of the Woody family, please raise your hand or so we can acknowledge you and thank you. I'm Derek Rogers, Director of Lawrence Parks and Recreation, and I'd like to welcome everybody that came for today's events. In particular, today with us we have City Commissioners. We have the Mayor, Lisa Larson, the Vice Mayor, Bart Littlejohn, City Commissioner Courtney Shipley, saw her earlier, and City Commissioner Amber Sellers. So welcome and thank you. Also today, I think we have some county representatives. I think Jill Jolliker is going to be here. I just haven't ran into her yet. Hi, Jill. Thank you. And Bird Nash members. Jeff Burkhead's helping us out today with photographs. And Matthew Falk is supposed to be here. I just haven't run into him yet either. So in a lot of ways, the people that are here today not only go back in the Parks and Rec and the history and the legacy of the Woody family, but also as a community and what we did here with Woody Park as we came together as a community between the neighborhood association, the city, the county, the hospital, the businesses, the nonprofits, and I think Elgin Woody would have been proud of that association. With that, we also have advisory board members, prior Parks and Rec staff, and people that have done quite a bit. John Nabandian, our chair of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Thank you for being here. Lots of members of city staff. This is a very special day for us in Parks and Recreation, and to be here with the Woody family to rededicate this Woody Park historical sign and replace a little wooden sign that was maybe about to here. And it's something we've been working with the Woody family for a little bit about, and it's a special day. And without me taking too much of the Woody family's thunder, I'm gonna pass it. It's all yours, Bill.
Away. Thanks a lot, Derek. I got just a few brief words. First, I apologize. I've got a medical condition that causes chronic hiccups. So I sound a little weird, but I'll be fine. I won't drop dead, I promise. But I was curious who here knows anything about the history of this park or this area at all. Raise your hand if you do. Okay. A lot of people don't. This is called Lincoln Park. And the history of this park kind of reminds me of Charlie Brown Christmas Tree story. You've all seen that, right? Okay. In the parks in Lincoln Park's early days, the park didn't have much love. Okay, the city kind of ran it for a little while, but didn't put any effort into it. Not put a lot of money into it. Then my grandpa came along and literally built the park. Okay, there was a park here, but the ball field was even with Maine St, he said, and then it all went downhill towards left field, center field, real low. So we brought in some dirt crews from the help of the city and built the park up. Built up left field and center field. Put the shelter house in right field was also low. We built it up too. We created what is now the Woody Park Dynamo. And for years, he managed teams here called Woody's Aces. Okay? And he loved softball, fast pitch softball. He didn't hate many things, but he hated slow pitch softball. Fast pitch only, a little bit of baseball also. But he managed what he called his youngsters. His park is for youngsters, people about ages 12 and over. And he helped keep them off the street, he said. A lot of, so I got I'm going to read a little here from a little newsletter that he was interviewed about this. He said, I took care of the park for the past 38 years, and then they named the park after me. It was Lincoln Park, and that was called Woody Park. Now you see, when I first started the park, me and Mr. Burgers, I think his name, and that's B-O or R-O Burgers, the diamond was even with Main Street, and it was all downhill. And I would get different graders down there from the city, and I finally got a good ball diamond. Now center field and left field were very low, and where the shelter house was, in right field, was also very low. And I put in many loads of dirt, built it up, and constant greens construction furnished lot of the dirt, and it was spread with a team by a slip and by a man, whatever that means. I'm not. You know what that means? He's smiling. I have no idea. But anyhow, so he really built the park himself, and he started coaching teams here. And for 38 years, this field was his field of dreams, you might say. And they dedicated this rename it to him because he was known as, I guess, the mayor of Lincoln Park for years, almost 40 years. And I spent a lot of time here. This park means a lot to me personally. When my dad passed away back in 2000, up here in the hospital in the emergency room, I came out here and grieved the day that he passed away. So this is a very special park to me. And we recently had another member of the family pass away, and we spread his ashes over there by that little tree over in the corner before him. Well, this park means a lot to the Woody family. And when the hospital started talking about, paving it over and expanding, parking, I said, it's not going to happen on my watch. Okay? So I've been talking to the director of Parks and Rec for years. We've got to get something done to memorialize this place, keep it. With all the development going on around here, with this over here and the whole neighborhood just kind of growing. We want to make sure that this park was not overlooked. Okay, so we took down a little Woody sign and put up this one nice sign behind me here and put it up to memorialize that this, in perpetuity, this park needs to be here. Okay, this was the park that African Americans played. This was their park. Okay, only place the park they could really play. But my grandfather, he coached. He didn't care what you were, black, white, Mexican. He coached you. You were his youngster, and he coached you. He coached you. So it's important that this is remembered, and I appreciate you guys being here on this very special day. Today is his birthday, by the way. If you didn't know that. In 1888, he was born here, and I'm wearing one of his coats. All right. In honor. So again, I want to thank y'all for showing up today. Get a little worked up here, but this is a very special day for us.
How old have you been today?
134. And this park was originally dedicated in '73. So next year is the 50th anniversary of the original dedication of this park. So good numbers. I'm a numbers kind of guy. Again, I want to thank y'all for showing up. I want to thank Parks and Rec. Has been great. Derek's been great. I think Fred the Victor was the original Parks and Rec guy in '73. I want to thank Fred. Fred could have been here, but that's all I got.
I believe Vice Mayor Bart Littlejohn would like to provide some comments, be followed by Amber Sellers.
Well, thank you guys for coming out. I know it's a little bit cold, but I appreciate you. And I'm sure the Woody family appreciates you. And first of all, I just want to thank the Woody family for keeping Mr. Woody's ideals and what he believed in alive, and just the perseverance of holding this park true and dear to Lawrence's heart. I want to thank the Parks and Rec staff as well as city staff for all their hard work on this project. I also want to thank the Pinckney neighborhood as well as the Pinckney Neighborhood Association for all their hard work. And I want to thank our community partners as well. Pinckney has a rich and vibrant Black history. I happened to learn a little bit more about it, leapfrogging off of the work of others in terms of things like the oral history of African Americans in Lawrence Douglas County, as well as the Kansas Historical Resources Society, and other avenues and other opportunities to go ahead and learn about our rich heritage here. People from Pinckney that I didn't even know about, like Mr. George Walker, Miss Mary Dillard, Langston Hughes lived in Pinckney. I also went to Pinckney Elementary. And of course, Mr. Woody, who took care of Lincoln Park, now named Woody Park here in Pinckney. So I really appreciate it. And if you guys have a chance, go ahead and look at the Pinckney Neighborhood website. We still have that information up there. You can go ahead and check it out. But to bring us back to today, and this park in particular, Woody Park, holds a special place in my heart because growing up, I played baseball, youth baseball. So if not removed for a couple generations, I might have been under Mr. Woody's tutelage if I had been in Lawrence. So I think that would have been an immense honor. And Mr. Woody himself, everything I've heard about him and from all the other people I've talked to today and before, and talked to them about him, he reminds me a lot of my grandpa, who believed in certain things like perseverance, dedication, and care for your community. So those are the kind of things that can make people better and do even more than they even thought they could do. And I think that's what Mr. Woody was about. So I just want to keep my comments short and thank Mr. Woody for providing a shining example for all of us to follow. And I appreciate all you guys being here.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Commissioner Sellers?
I want to thank the family for being here today, and to our partners, and to Vice Mayor Littlejohn for his words. This is a full circle moment for me. 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to be at the Negro League Museum and to go through the exhibit and to see that excerpt that talked about how instrumental the work that was done here, games that were played here in Lawrence, Negro League games that were played here in Lawrence, and how the institution of light at night games had its roots here in Lawrence. That's big. That's history. That's our history. And so to be here today and to be able to see that full circle with the Woody family today, that's an honor and that's a blessing to me. We stand on history. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. We stand on the shoulders of those who came before us through good, bad, and indifferent to see us through. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your ancestors and my ancestors who struggled and persevered through their resiliency and their courage and their thought. That's what Mr. Woody was. That's what his family is here today, the living legacy. And this is just a small token on behalf of the city that we're here to share with you. So thank you for that. Thank you. Maya Angelou once said, if you don't know where you came from, you're not gonna know where you're going. Now I paraphrase that, but the sentiments are there. We will not be better as a community until we remember where we came from. This is one way of reminding us where we came from so we could be better about what we do moving forward. To the Woody family, to our partners, to the griots of our communities, family, friends, thank you for coming out today. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity. May we all be richly blessed and encouraged and enlightened by it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to call forward the Woody family and let's get together who's going to help hold the sign, and I would suggest the city commissioners come forward too with family and parks and recreation. Let's see how we're going to arrange this picture. How would hold on a second before we do this, Taylor? How would you arrange this picture? Gonna have to call for an extra.
Those under a fathom.
Yeah, if we just press and move it,
Okay.
and then if you have taking photos of the dogs, you can step back a little bit. Sorry. And then, okay, I think we're good. There you go, it's a little
Shot for you.
countdown.
Corbin in there?
Okay.
Okay. Corbin over there.
Okay, shall we count down from 3,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'd appreciate everybody if they want to stick around. We have cookies and refreshments over here, and socialize with the family, find out some of the stories about the history, and appreciate everybody that came out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I have one final thing to say here before we
We have
wrap up here.
Go ahead, Bill.
I'm not done babbling yet.
I mean, she can
I want to read the wrap up I had by the mission statement. for his club.
Everyone, just a moment. Everyone,
Steven, hang on.
everyone, one moment.
Hold on.
Just a second. We got one little thing Bill wanted to
I
read.
wanted to read a mission statement. This is my grandfather had a called Woody's Aces Club mission statement, you might say. Okay, and the first thing on it says, good, clean sportsmanship. Second, all practice games, wear t-shirts or other shirts. Okay, must wear shirts. Team shirts worn at all times for all regular games. For the plate umpire, if you like him or not, please respect him. Okay, the position and respect the position he holds. No remarks made to him after a decision is made. No bats, no gloves, thrown down on the ground. He Woody manager. That's who he was. Okay? Thanks again for coming out. Appreciate it. You cookies.